Hey everybody, it's Mr. G, and welcome to another 10-minute talk. As many of you know, I have been a full-time faculty member at Humber College in Toronto for well over 20 years. And during my time there, I have seen an awful lot of change in the demographic of our students. Currently at Humber, we have 33,000 full-time students, of which 6,000 of them is international students. So that's almost 20%. Those international students come from 130 different countries. So what we're going to be talking about today is some of the struggles that international students have, why they have them, and as a transformational leader, some of the suggestions that I have moving forward that might eliminate some of those issues. So typically in a given semester, when do these issues show up? Well, they normally show up somewhere after midterm. In a lot of cases, midterm is too far down the road to really help in that situation for those students who are struggling. We are already halfway through the first semester. So the ideal situation would be somehow identify the students early who are struggling before the midterms so that we can get them the help that they need. So what is the cause of students struggling, especially international students? Chen and Tabassum of 2019 show that there's a relationship between academic achievement and social campus life. In another study completed in 2018 by Nuorju and Akichinwu Nuorju, they found that the cultural differences not only affect the students in the classroom, but also how the teachers perceive them. Therefore, marginalizing international students to some degree. In 2018, Shields backs this up when identifying 4 different ways that students are marginalized: race and ethnicity, social status, sexual orientation and gender identity, and also home language, religion, immigration status, or country of origin. International students check at least 2 of those boxes. So why is it then that international students, some of them, really struggle? What we see is that international students, some of them, have difficulty assimilating into a new culture. So a lot of them become lonely, isolated, and that's what affects their academic careers. So what is a transformational leader? Hey, Unidal in 2019 stated that as one who is stimulated and inspires followers to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Kareem and Patrick characterize a transformational leader as a leader who believes in a shared vision. They are the motivating and encouraging factor for individuals. So as a leader looking at this issue through a transformational leadership lens, here is what I would like to do and what I would like to see done to hopefully eliminate or at least reduce the issues that some of our international students are having. So the first steps in achieving the goal, here's what we need to do. We need to be able to acknowledge that our teaching faculty is very diverse at the college. We need to make sure that all of those faculty members are all on the same page when it comes to serving our international student population. One of the other things that hinders our ability to help students in post-secondary education, a very large majority of our students are adults. There are only a very slight few students who start off our programs under the age of 18. So once students hit the age of 18 and they become adults in this country, they fall under the rights to privacy that are guaranteed by our Canadian Human Rights Code. And what that does is it affects how we can deal with students, how we can handle students, how we communicate with students. So at post-secondary, we're dealing directly with the students, and we have to encourage the students to get help themselves. So we have to identify that they need help, and then we have to be able to encourage them and direct them where they can find the help. I would like to be able to understand how these issues actually manifest themselves in our international students. So within the first couple of weeks, how do we identify the ones that have the risk of struggling? So training in social awareness and being able to identify students who are lonely or students who seem to be isolating and not taking part. That kind of thing is what we should be looking for to be able to identify the students who are at possible risk. So the question becomes is, how do we do this? Well, the first thing we need to do as a leadership team, we need to provide the proper training for all of our faculty so that they're all on the same page and they all can identify which students might be at risk. We also all need training on the Human Rights Code and how it is affecting what we do in the classroom so that we can properly identify students, have the one-on-one conversation with the students, and get them the help that they need. So here's what I would like to see. I would like to see a team of counselors. And those counselors will work with the professors and the faculty members in helping to make sure that the supports that the students require are actually in place. Banjon of 2015 suggests that international students do not seek out supports that are in the same way that domestic students do. It seems that international students think that the supports in place for students is for students with disabilities and not for them. A lot of the supports in the college system are going underutilized. So we need to make sure that the supports are correct and the students are utilizing them. So, in the end, how do we know if this plan is going to be successful or is being successful? Well, there's a few things we're going to look at. First, is there an increase in the grade point average of international students? Is there an increase in the rate of retention of international students? As well, we're going to look at the utilization of the services that we provide. We can keep track of how many students are utilizing the supports, and if we see that there is an increased number of international students seeking out the supports, then that becomes one of our key factors in looking at being successful in this program. And the last, we would look at the increase in graduation rates. So we would hope to see that more international students are graduating from our programs. If we can get those struggling students through the program, it will increase our retention rates, it will increase our graduation rates, and that is good for the college. So I'd like to thank you for watching another 10 minutes with Mr. G. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.